Hello, my name is Jacob Yunker. I am the pastor of the Franklin United Methodist Church located at 82 West Central Street in Franklin, Massachusetts, and at franklinumc.org. This is the first reading. On Sunday, January 17th, we will continue reading through the Gospel of Mark. Our reading is from Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd behind, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. Other boats were with him. A great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." Then the wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. He said to them, "Why are you afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great awe, and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" When I picture this story happening, when I imagine what the scene was like, I always picture Jesus and the disciples alone on the water in their boat. I never picture the other boats that followed along. What about those other boats? What did they do when the gale force winds arose? Did they go back to shore? Were their boats swamped? Picturing a fleet of boats being tossed about really changes the story for me. When the panicked disciples woke Jesus up screaming, I assume they were screaming. Mark doesn't really tell us or give us cues about their emotional response to the situation. I just know that that's how I'd be reacting. When the disciples woke Jesus up saying, "Teacher, don't you care that we're drowning?" Who is the we? Were the disciples referring only to themselves? Or were they referring to the people in the other boats that were being swamped too? One of the other things that has always intrigued me about this story is the peevishness of Jesus. Why does he seem so angry with the disciples? The boat was taking on water. He was sleeping. It was not unreasonable for them to wake Jesus up. Why is he so upset? How did they not show faith? I mean, what does faith look like in this situation? Is faith not waking Jesus? Is faith allowing the storm to overtake the boat? Is faith not being frightened in the eye of the storm? I have a hard time with that. Maybe faith is knowing that Jesus is in the boat with us. Maybe faith is trusting that God sinks or swims with us in the boat. These are a few of the thoughts and questions I am wrestling with after this first reading. What thoughts and questions do you have about it? Write your thoughts, questions, and comments, your spiritual profundities and doubts below, and join me in the conversation this week. I hope you'll consider joining me and the people of the Franklin United Methodist Church in worship on Sunday at 10 a.m. as we continue our reflection beyond this first reading.